Hi, my name is Drasty. I'm going to give a quick overview on my project that I worked on for Amtech Electrical. It was a redesign for a Shopify store landing page. During the January to April 2020 co-op term, I worked at Amtech Electrical, who is this electrical subcontractor in the Ottawa region. And here they face the issue with a material management. They made a material management error, which led to having too much inventory and not enough storage space. So to combat this, they invested in launching a Shopify store to hope to sell some of the material. So throughout this landing page redesign, I've used Figma to design and prototype the landing page while using Shopify Analytics to see how the landing page is performing, and also use Shopify to develop and build the site while using Hotjar to conduct user and product experiments while using Whimsical to collaborate with my stakeholders. My role as a UX designer was to really dive into the problem identification, research, and prototyping and design phases. I was also the main point of contact on this project, so I was dealing with managing the timeline, budget, pitching, and collaborating with the stakeholders, such as the CEO and the VP. Some of the constraints that we had was first the money. We only had $100 budget, which restricted us with development and development and like design. Like we didn't really have a lot of options with using suitable templates. So we had to use the supply theme. But we made it work through using a plugin called Shogun, a Shopify app, which really helped us, expand and create, more uh, user-friendly design for a B2B business. The timeline that I had was um, I only was able to spend around like 3 weeks per week, which equates to like 50 hours throughout the 4 months that I've worked for Amtech, to work on this project, as my main responsibilities was a project coordinator at a U Ottawa construction project. During the project, we were restricted with user testing due to COVID-19 restrictions, so we couldn't conduct in-person user testing with our target audience. So that means I wasn't able to go on construction sites to conduct these studies, or they weren't able to come into the office. And due to their weird schedules, night shifts and stuff, we couldn't really conduct these over Zoom or anything. So it was really difficult, but we figured it out in the end. Um, so just to quickly go over my process, I began with researching the problem, identifying the problem, coming up with different iterations and solutions, explorations, and then finally pitching and launching the final design. So you might ask, why a redesign? So on the left hand side, you see the initial landing page that had been live for 3 months but did not receive any revenue, no leads, no traffic, limited traffic. This landing page had a bounce rate of 88%, which is extremely high for an e-commerce store. But you might ask, the landing page, why? Well, because like the landing page is the first page which any user lands on, and it's really important to make the best first impression as possible. So we the stakeholders had their pain points were like no revenue, no leads. So we really needed to figure this out. It would be the most impactful way to solve those problems. So before we even went to the design board and tried to prototype possible solutions, we really needed to understand who we were designing for. So the initial design was not really taken in, it wasn't taken into consideration who the primary users were, and I think that's where it fell short. So I conducted a workshop with some of the stakeholders, such as the CEO and the VP, who best understand the the direction of the company and the store and who we were trying to sell. So in the beginning, I thought that our main competitors would be Home Depot, Lowe's, like retail, construction kind of stores. But I quickly discovered that the main users that we wanted to target was actually businesses, so industrial professional customers, such as other construction companies and suppliers. So we weren't targeting just a normal store, like normal do it yourself consumer. We were trying to target other businesses. This was a really crucial part in our design process, because if we didn't figure who we're designing for, we might have had created a different sort of site, like a BTC site, which would probably not serve our customer segment. So just to recap, we're selling to other businesses, a B2B model, and this means that we're selling to small to medium-sized electrical subcontractors, such as people as construction project managers, project company owners, coordinators, foremen, people who actually care about the project success and want to either lower costs, get better equipment, and etc. So this persona was actually developed with some of the key stakeholders, and we really quickly realized that our target audience wants the best deal while also having a premium quality. They do not want to overpay because of weird supplier requirements, such as you need to buy in bulk to receive whatever product you want, because some of the traditional suppliers actually do that to make a profit, which was a big pain point for our primary customers. So overall, they wanted to just buy industrial niche equipment with affordable prices. So recap the problem. We want to make a way for construction managers and owners find an easy way for them to discover niche but affordable industrial grade products, because they do not want to deal with unjustifiable price markups from traditional suppliers. So on the left hand side, that's the before design, and the right hand side is the after design. I'm going to quickly go over my exploration phases. So how might we increase opportunity for product discovery? So in the initial design, through user testing, we found that the users thought that it was really text heavy for the product categories, for the shop categories. The images were really non-contextual. They didn't really understand what they meant. The categories were kind of vague, and overall the users didn't really understand the point of the page. And this was supported by poor KPIs, such as an 88% bounce rate and a 43-second average session time. So overall, this is what pushed us to go for the redesign of the landing page. So this is just an example of a feedback that we've received. As I mentioned, we couldn't conduct in-person testing, so I actually, hopped onto Reddit and Facebook chats and electrician group chats, and posted the final design and the initial design and asked for feedback. So in this feedback, they said that the landing page looks like an about page, and this was a really big issue because it's a landing page. We're not talking about ourselves. We're showing our products. It's a product-facing landing page, and it wasn't getting communicated. And they also said that the main top bar, the navigation bar, since it was a blue stripe, it kind of gave them school website vibes. And this was a trade-off that we were willing to make because this was part of the theme, and we didn't really have a budget to upgrade the theme because it would have cost us almost $100 extra, which we didn't really have a budget for. So that was a trade-off that we made. So here, this is an experiment I conducted on Hotjar. So both of these, on the left-hand side is the initial design, right-hand side is the final design. They are actually ran for 2 weeks. We had 120 unique visitors throughout both of the experiments. So here you see overall, like the heat map, the flow, like you see that there's less traffic on the shop for categories, which is kind of bad because for a product for a product facing landing page, like you want that area to be really heavy and be like you want it to be very like red and like attracted, but it wasn't really getting communicated. Also on the before, on the left hand side, if you see the logo, the top left, you see that there's a lot of traffic there, and we assumed that people were actually clicking the logo to get redirected to the main landing page, and that was another reason why we thought that, oh my god, it's not getting communicated. On the right hand side is the final product, where we see a lot more traffic on the products, and it kind of was validating. On the logo is less trafficy, so we thought that people were actually, believed that it was a product facing landing page. So just to go more into it, so in the before section, you see that there are like a lot of non-contextual category images, such as the lighting. So if you go look at the lighting, like you don't really even see lights, right? There's too much happening in the background. So we opted to replace that image with actual light fixtures, and yeah, so we changed it with light fixtures to give them a clear depiction of what we're trying to sell. On the storage, that's a photo of an IKEA warehouse, which is kind of inaccurate because we're not selling a commercial space, we're selling toolboxes. So I switched that image with something that's more visual. For the miscellaneous section, on the before category, people were confused. They didn't understand what it meant. So we actually took this category completely out. But next time, I would definitely conduct a card sorting study to better understand the category hierarchies. So that's just some of the decisions. Also, so for the featured categories, these were the like these three conduit vendors. They look the same, but they're actually different. But people thought that it was some sort of typo and like it was an error. So we had to figure out a way to solve that. There's also a lot of white space. It's unbalanced, and people thought that we didn't have enough inventory or like products, which was kind of concerning. So we had a lot of products. So we wanted to try to balance that. So in the before section, that's the issue that we see, and in the after section, we actually through Shopify, we actually looked at the click-through rates of the top products, and that's how we decided on which products to select. Here, like the arrows, you could click through it, click through the carousel, and it'll take you to the most to least clicked on products, I guess. But that's how we actually selected and shortlisted the featured product section. And we wanted to make sure that they're kind of unique, and so people weren't getting confused with the same products. Initially, we actually we had 3 iterations. In iteration number 2, we put the featured product section on the bottom half of the page, and only 53.4% of the users were actually reaching this point. And for product discovery, it's kind of bad because people aren't actually discovering the product. So in the final design, we moved the product features up to just below the main banner, and we actually achieved a lot more success through this. So quickly covering the main design decisions. We made a clear hero image, call to action banner. Also moved the relevant featured product section up. Added contextual images instead of the vague ones. Added customer testimonials to create actual user trust on the main landing page. So you might ask, why is this better than the existing solution. So throughout the first week, we actually we made our first like couple sales, which was really exciting because it kind of proved that the design was kind of working. And this was actually done with zero marketing, so it was kind of like astonishing. But since then, they have actually, shown an increase in sales, so it's kind of validating the design. Also, in December 2020, the bounce rate was 88%, and during the final design in April when we launched, the bounce rate was 69.2%, and this is a 44% decrease in the bounce rate, which is really good. We know we still have a long way to go, but that drop is something that we were really excited about. So for the next steps, especially when we go about to redesign the rest of the site or the store, we really wanted to create a more robust and consistent design, like visual design. So we would try to look into, kind of creating a design system which creates a more uniform visual experience throughout the store. Also, we want to conduct more in-person user testing and interviews to understand how to improve the site and how they're thinking throughout their process for the next iteration. Also, we would continue to monitor the performance of the existing solution to understand how we could improve it in the future. Yeah, so thank you for your time.